I'm on the movie, been the foundation. It's time to move. 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 Yeah, it's time to move. 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 Hey, it's time to move. It's time to move.
Hey everyone, I'm D.
I'm R.
And together we are DJR Union. And today we're going to be covering a very important topic, which is the JJK Volume 2 cards that are going to be coming out.
Exactly. We're going to be going over a couple of key cards in the set to figure out what impact they're going to have with the overall archetype or the overall IP of Jujutsu Kaisen and see how much it's going to boost the overall power of what already exists in the game so far.
Now, I will say this is a different format than how we normally do the card reviews, and that's because we wanted to spice things up, try something new, and I think this is going to work a lot better for our videos. It's going to make them a lot more concise, which will help us eventually get more videos out to you guys.
Exactly. Like I said, it's nothing wrong with like going over to each individual card and see what we're going to get. But in order to present to y'all in a more proper format and just make the quality a whole lot better for y'all, we feel so this is going to be the best way going forward. So again, let us know down below if you guys enjoy this new format that we're going to be doing videos. It would help a lot and bring you guys further content in the future.
We're now going to start diving into what we believe to be some of the more impactful cards in the set for Volume 2 that you guys might want to pay attention to, because these cards are going to make or break future decks. So first things first, we're going to start off with Riko Amanai.
Riko Amanai, and let's take a look at what she does, because if on the energy line at the end of your attack phase and your opponent's attack phase, if neither Satoru Gojo or Suguru Geto are on your front line, move this character to your front line.
And I will say I do like that. I like it a lot because she does generate 2 energy. You know she's going to be very important to have in your energy line, but it fits with the flavor so much. Weren't Gojo and Geto tasked with protecting Riko? So if those 2 are taken out, who's going to protect her? No one.
Herself.
So she's forced to the front line. Yeah, the way that bullet protected her.
Oh, she tanked that bullet. She tanked that.
You know, Gojo was like, "Go, man, I'm an iron." And with 500 BP, she's not doing anything against the bullet. Let's be honest.
Exactly. Hey, the bullet's doing something to her, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, on the main phase at least, if she's in your energy line, you switch her to resting, place a card from your hand to the sideline, which is a common theme that we're seeing in the Gojo-themed deck. Once per turn, you get to choose one Gojo or Geto on your field with 5 or less required energy and switch it to active.
That's not bad. That's not bad. Given the fact that at least the Gojos and the Geto cards we saw in the vault are not like raid characters. They come into the field, switch to resting. Yeah. This is going to be beneficial for it, especially with the Gojo with damage too.
Yes. Because
you have to get to, you play the Gojo out in the field, you activate Riko's effect to switch him to active. Mm-hmm. Now you have an immediate 2k damage to 4,500 body on the field to maybe start instilling damage and applying pressure to your opponent.
Yeah, and the best part is that if you're able to get that out quick enough, if you're able to get this Riko out early enough, then odds are your opponent's board state isn't going to be that established and you're able to sneak that damage 2 through. And then, not to mention, with him being able to be switched to active and just instantly start attacking for damage 2, your opponent's either going to block and lose their board state that they already started establishing, or they're going to take that damage very early on in the game, and then what?
Yeah, now you're ahead 2 life. You have more room to work with, and next thing you know, they have to start playing a bit more sparingly because they're not going to have as much life or much wiggle room to work with. And this goes back into what we were mentioning earlier, like giving more speed to these types of decks. Yes. And making them to apply that pressure a whole lot sooner to keep up with the power creep of the game.
Yeah. And not to mention, this Riko also helps out another Gojo that we're going to be going into actually right now, the 5 energy 1 action Gojo.
Here we have him right here.
5/1 Gojo. On your turn, if this card is on the front line, if Geto is on the same line, or if Riko is dead, you can go ahead and have this character gain 1k BP and impact.
Alright, so again, going back to how... Dead.
Hey, look, if she gets shot in the head, Gojo gets a buff.
Hey,
for the rest of the game.
She tanked that bullet.
For the rest of the game.
She tanked that bullet, alright?
Yeah, but...
Took one for the team.
But yeah, you pretty much get to play him, switch him to active with Rico's ability, and automatically have a 5k BP character with impact able to swing into your opponent.
Exactly. And again, like I said, that plays into the factor of being able to speed up the overall game plan of the deck, of having to get, not only have your characters onto the front line, but have them onto the front line set to active, so that way you start swinging with, like, say, with a 2 damage 2 Gojo, or with the impact 1 Gojo with 5k BP to apply that much more pressure to your opponent.
Yeah.
So,
and not to mention, if you play him on the same turn that you activate Rico's ability, I mean, you might not want to activate Rico's ability at this point, because when you play him, look at the top 3 cards of your deck and reveal up to 1 Curse Technique blue, red, or hollow purple. Put it into your hand, put the rest on the bottom in any order, and then if you add 1 card to hand, place 1 from hand to sideline. But with that, you're able to use blue to push a card into the energy line. Therefore, if that was their only card, your damage 2 Gojo's the one you probably want to stand up so you can get free damage off. Red, if you're doing a mirror match, pull their Rico to the front line. What are they going to do with the 500 BP character? Get shot in the head?
pretty much. They're taking all 9 mil of that to the face. I'm just saying.
and if you get hollow purple, you can hold on to that till you get the 6-2 Gojo and get that off for free if you want to.
Exactly.
So there's countless options for you.
Yeah, so there's so many things that you're able to do just off the fact that you play this Gojo and you find your, like, say, your curse technique. Because give and take, you're probably going to be playing at least 2 of the 3 curse techniques, if not all 3 of the curse techniques.
Right.
Yeah, you already know you're playing hollow purple.
Oh, 100%. That is your kill card.
That is your kill card. You'll be a fool not to. Reversal blue is looking good, and like I said, it gets more of a recent put in reversal red.
Yes.
I know a lot of people aren't playing reversal red like that. I feel so this is just going to entice people more to want to put that card into their deck.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I believe also that blue has an ability. I think I got them reversed actually. I think blue is pull and red is push.
I think so.
So that's on me. I keep getting them mixed up. I don't know why. With Curse Technique Blue, it has a pretty interesting ability where if their front line is full, they then have to choose a character to send to the removal area. It's the same thing for red. When you push it to the energy line, they have to choose someone to send to the removal area.
Yeah.
But with blue, if there isn't someone in the removal, or if the front line, if they don't have to put a card into the removal area, then you get to draw a card off of it.
Oh.
Which is good. You get value off it. Either you get rid of a card on their field permanently from the game, or you get to get an extra card draw.
Exactly. So it's just value. So it's a value engine right there. So you always have option to it, and it's not like a dead option, because if you can't meet the requirements for one option, I just get another option. I just get a free card in my hand. I'm going to replace the card I already used.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. So regardless of which, like I said, it's just value all day, every day. Especially with the Gojo and the overall gameplay of the deck, it's going to be very, very beneficial.
Exactly. All right, so next up on our list, we have Megami.
All right, bear with us, because I can't, with the way this card is designed, I am barely able to read what's on this freaking card.
Do not worry, I will get us off of this card as quick as possible, because what I want to say is important, but very minor and very quick. We can get through this real quick.
Yes.
So this Megami Fushiguro could possibly go into your Megami decks. It's a pretty beneficial card to put into your decks. This Megami Fushiguro 4 energy 2 action, once per turn, when the active main ability of a Chimera Shadow Garden on your field is activated, all Megami characters on your field get 1k BP till the end of turn, which is beneficial because a lot of people were running Toge in their deck, the Numaki. And the reason was because Chimera Shadow Garden couldn't target your Megamis to make them stronger.
Exactly.
So if you were stuck with a 3k Megami swinging in, he's not going to get any attacks due. So you would pay the AP for Toge over the Chimera Shadow Garden to get the power boost up.
Exactly.
But now you don't have to worry about using up your slots for Toge anymore, because now with this card, you're able to get the Chimera off as well, targeting the Megamis. You don't need the Toge to target your entire field when you can have your Chimera Shadow Garden target the entire field and then save more slots in your field or in your deck for more support towards Megami.
Exactly. Like I said, this card can, matter of fact, just like replace the Toge altogether, because like I said, it's just going to be doing the same thing, which is buffing up your Megami. So not only you can apply the pressure with Megami, you can activate those Megami's effect from Chimera Shadow Garden to start restanding your Shikigami's and start swinging wide. Not only swinging wide, but also swinging tall as well.
Exactly. And then the second effect, which kind of helps warrant the 2 action points, when played, you get to target any character on your opponent's front line with BP equal to, or less than, you gotta have that diversity, then 1,000 multiplied by the number of combined Shikigami Affinity and Chimera Shadow Gardens on your field and kill it off. And like highest case scenario, you're gonna have at least 3 Shikigamis in the front line and 1 or 2 Chimera Shadow Gardens in the energy line. So you're looking at a 5k.
5k?
Yeah, 5k. 5k or less.
Yeah.
And depending on how many Shikigamis you have on the field, you can hit even higher than that.
Exactly. At like your highest that you're probably gonna be able to hit is probably 7k.
Yeah.
If like you have 3 Shikagamis on the front line, 2 Chimeras on the back line, and 2 more Shikagamis on the back line as well.
Yeah.
If push comes to shove. So you get a 7k ceiling on a body, a buff,
Yep.
and a kill spell up to 7k ceiling all in one.
Yeah.
And for me, I think it's worth the 2 AP that you gotta spend for it.
And he's a draw trigger.
I didn't see that. He is a draw trigger.
Phenomenal.
Best, good card. I'm not gonna say best.
Yeah, not best.
Not best.
2 action points is still steep.
It's a steep
But
price.
it's worth the steep price.
It's worth it.
Next up, I actually wanted to talk about some of the new Shikigamis that are coming to support Megami. The first one up is Rabbit Stampede.
Rabbit Stampede. I only know one thing about this card, and that it got folded by Toji.
Well, that's kind of all you really need to know, because this card doesn't do much for your deck outside of the fact that it is a 0 cost card that, me personally, I'm probably going to be replacing my 0 Megami with. And the reason is because of the 2-1 Megami that we went over earlier. I want to put that card in the deck because of its usefulness to the deck, and therefore by putting those in, I can replace the 0 Megamis with this card, so that way I can get some more value with a different Shikigami that we are going to cover right after this, which this card says, when this character is returned to your hand from the field, choose up to 1 Shikigami Affinity card on your field and switch it to active.
Oh, okay, so bounce this one back to the field and switch another Shikigami to active. Start, like, say, again, getting like a lot of early game pressure going through.
Right. And it's good because there's a lot of cards that will target this card and bounce it back to hand. The first one that comes to mind is obviously the 1 energy card that generates 2 energy, where when you play this card, bounce a card with 1 or less energy back to hand. With Rabbit Stampede being bounced back to hand, you can now target a Shikigami in your front line that you probably paid for turn and set it active and start swinging. Or, a random case scenario, if you're going up against a Toto and they boogie woogie your Rabbit Stampede after resting one of your cards somehow, you can stand up that Shikigami they rested and defend on that turn.
Or even better, you go against a Sukuna deck and they start bouncing your cards with Yuji.
Yep.
They bounce this card back to your hand. It's like, well, I'm gonna switch this card to active now so it can block.
Yep, now you gotta watch out. Now let's be honest, your opponent's gonna be smart, because I doubt they're gonna have less than 1 brain cell, and they're not gonna bounce this card back to hand because of its ability, but
Skill check.
Skill check.
Skill check.
But that's where the second Shikigami comes into hand, Max Elephant. Max Elephant is a 3 energy, 1 action, 4k BP character, and it generates energy even if it's on the front line, which is really good considering Chimera Shadow Garden doesn't generate energy by itself. Having this card in your front line will help you consistently stay at an energy where you can still play cards.
That's really good. I wasn't thinking about that.
Now, its when played ability, you get to return 1 other Shikigami Affinity card on your field to the hand, and if you can't, then this card gets returned to your hand. But what card would I return to my hand? Rabbit Stampede?
Rabbit Stampede, because you're going to return that to your hand, switch this card to active, and now you got a 4k body swinging, bulldozing its way, just like this elephant is going through those buildings right there.
Exactly. It's beautiful. It's an art form, really.
Exactly.
I love it. Shikigamis are gonna be kind of fun.
It's gonna be kind of nice. I ain't gonna lie.
I think they're gonna stay consistent with where they are in the tier list. I don't think they're gonna be any stronger or weaker. But this is just an initial view, and judging it based off of the other sets and buffs that we're getting for this set. So It's like, I feel like the other sets are getting better improvements than this deck does. So I do believe that this deck is on the lower end of improvements, but it's definitely getting improvements.
Exactly.
Nonetheless.
It's like, it's getting a little bit of 10-11 care, if any at all. It's not being left in the dust like a sort of online. But anyways, let's what's the next card on the list?
Well, the next card on the list, we're actually going over to blue.
To blue?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're pretty much done with yellow. Yellow has some pretty good cards that you are going to probably be running in your deck, such as Okinawa Trip and the Cursed Spirit Dragon that Geto has. But we're not going to be talking about those because some of the more iconic cards that we're going to be talking about are blue, starting with the 5 energy, 1 action Yuji. And that Yuji is very powerful because he's not only able to do a lot of things like, have 4K BP and be a 4K beater, but he's able to, on your turn, if he's on the front line, reduce the amount of energy required to play your Sukunas, increasing your Sukuna's benefits a lot, seeing your Sukunas earlier, seeing your Sukunas faster. Because, hey, if you have 1 or more finger in your sideline, reduce the Sukuna's energy by 1. If you have 4 or more, it's by 2 instead. Meaning, your 4 energy 1 action Sukuna is now a 2 energy 1 action Sukuna. Your 5 energy 1 action Sukuna is now a 3 energy 1 action Sukuna.
Honestly, that's really good.
And your 6 energy 2 action Sukuna, that's now a 4-2.
A 4-2.
And the 4-2 we went over is now a 2-2.
Oh, so your Sukunas are just popping up left and right.
He's not wearing a 2-2. He is the 2-2.
He is the 2-2. Yuji's wearing him.
I mean, at this point.
Yeah, mine as well. But like I said, to be able to decrease the BP of your already powerful Sukuna cards and bringing them out again a whole lot sooner than before really adds to again what we discussed earlier about later sets having a lot more speed, a lot more power behind them. These earlier sets not being fast enough to be able to keep up with them. Right. This usually adds to the fact that hey, that 4-1 Sukuna that was going to come out on the field with 5k BP on your turn and impact 1, it's coming out with only 2 energy being needed onto your board.
Yeah. And it's funny because this Yuji, a lot of people, I know some of the discussions that are happening. A lot of people are like, what's the point of playing this Yuji in the deck? He requires 5 energy to get out. So by the time I can get the Sukunas out, it's not going to matter much because I'm already going to have that much energy. If you're constantly applying pressure to your opponent and pushing the cards from your energy line to the front line, but you leave this Yuji in your energy line, or I mean, not in the energy line, but you move him from your energy line to the front line as well, if you have 2 energy, you can then raid your 4-1 really powerful Sukuna on top of this Yuji for only the 2 energy after you push all your cards from the energy to the front line. So now, not only do you have a huge board presence on the front line, but you only have a 2 energy generating card in your energy line. That's insane to be able to not only push the attack, but to also be able to bring out your insanely high costing cards later into the game. It's a good card to just remain on the field and benefit you at any point you need when you need to push them to the front line.
Exactly, and this goes very well, especially in the pure Sukuna Yuji archetype deck versus the Sukuna Nanami variant. Is that if you're playing pure Yuji, pure Sukuna, it's a more control-based deck. You're more so just bouncing cards back to your opponent's hand, and you're trying to push them back enough turns so that way you can get your game plan out first and be able to extend that lead.
Right.
This makes it that way you're not only able to play that defensive game against your opponent, you're now have a way to become aggressive, to be the oppressor in the situation and start being like, hey, I don't just need to push your stuff and bounce your stuff back to your hand. Now I can start rushing you down, applying that same amount of pressure and getting that extra early advantage.
It's beautiful.
Yes.
Not to mention, he also has a win plate ability. Draw a card and place one from your hand to the sideline.
So now not only that, you can filter.
Yeah. Filter your deck. Hey, that's a Sukuna finger. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
It could happen.
Now you have a Sukuna finger in your hand, you're trying to get rid of it. All right, I'm going to play this Yuji. I'm going to put this Sukuna finger into my sideline. Now the 1 Sukuna finger now turns to 2 Sukuna fingers. And now my Sukunas are now 2 less energy to bring out. Must I say more?
No.
All right. Let's move on to the next card on the list.
So while we're talking about how Sukunas are coming cheaper, that includes the 7 energy, 1 action Sukuna. And this card is actually bonkers.
He's a true menace?
An absolute menace, I would say.
Bro, all right. Let's break it down. What do you do?
So, hypothetically, let's just say, real quick scenario. You have your 5-1 Yuji in your hand. You have enough energy to generate 5 energy. You play that 5 energy, that 5/1 Yuji onto the front line. You draw a card. It's a finger. You place it into the sideline. You have all 4 fingers in the sideline, meaning that 7/1 Sukuna is now a 5/1. You raid on top of that 5/1 Yuji. Now this monster is out onto the field, and when he's played, you get to choose one of these abilities. But since you have 3 Sukuna fingers, you get to choose 2 of them. But wait, you have all 4. So you get to choose all of these abilities that I'm about to list off to you for just 5 energy and 1 action. Draw a card, and then your opponent places 1 card from their hand into the sideline.
So it's not me placing a hand from the sideline, it's the opponent placing a hand from the sideline.
Yeah.
I just get to draw a card.
Yeah, they have to deal with the struggle of choosing what card they're placing in the sideline.
Oh, snap.
I get to just chill and draw a card.
Okay.
Then, I get to lower every single character on your front line with 2,500 or more BP by 2,000.
Huh?
So your 5k BP character on the front line, it's a 3k.
It's a 3K?
Your 4k BP character on the front line, it's a 2k.
It's a 2K?
And let me tell you why that's important, because of his third ability. Choose up to 1 character with 35 or less BP, which in this situation is going to be any character on the front line. Kill it.
It's just that. It's just that.
And with a character with 5k BP and impact, you best believe he's getting over everyone that he just nerfed.
Oh, facts.
And since he can target any card with 3,500 BP or less, you can kill off a card with nullify impact. Therefore, his impact is actually going to do something.
Oh, okay, so they're not even safe from that.
No.
You thought you were in trouble when Asa was on the field? Nah, Sukuna said like, hold my beer.
Literally, bro.
Quite literally, because now, hey, those nullify impact cards that you're so proud of to have on to your front line, yeah, we're just gonna fire snipe those real quick.
Oh, 100%. I truthfully believe that in all of Volume 2, this is the best card.
I can agree. This is a real menace.
Yeah. And it does help that it does have a chase art, the 3-star version of it. It's gonna be beautiful. It's serialized. You're gonna be wanting it. It's gonna cost a lot of money. I think I saw one go for like 800 right now.
Yeah.
So you know it's gonna be an important card too, because I guarantee you the regular one's gonna be going for like probably like 30, 40 something at this point.
Yeah, exactly. So like what I do, in addition to like say the alt arts for the like say the serialized cards, like the SR star cards, I like how they're making a bit of a change with this set versus they did with the set beforehand. Was that when you were trying to pull the serialized Yuji cards compared to the normal 3-star Yuji,
right,
it was the same artwork.
Yeah.
The only difference was that there was a number next to it, which to me was a kind of a disappointment, because if I'm gonna put a serialized card, but it's the same as the regular 3-star versus 2-star version, and you're opening your packs, you see that art, you're thinking, I pulled a serialized. No number.
It's just a regular 3-star.
To me, that's one of the biggest disappointments, which is like I would much rather see a signed card.
Yeah.
Because at least I know that, holy freak.
Yeah.
I pulled a signed card.
Yo, there's a signature on this. I know what I've got.
Yeah. Now it's to the point where it's like the Sukunas, the 2-star Sukuna,
yeah,
is a different artwork than the regular 3-star, than the 3-star serialized Sukuna.
Yeah, so it actually has like his name Sakuna along the side, and I believe the 3-star version doesn't have that, but it does have like Jujutsu Kaisen written up in like the top right corner.
Yeah, and you get the number next to it. It's 2 distinct different artworks on it, so that way, or art designs on it, so that way you know I pulled the serialized one.
Yeah,
there's
you
no
know what you
disappointment. Because I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna be kind of tight if I pull like serialized. Nope, I just got sold. The freak, get out of here with that jump, bro. What you doing, man?
All right, next up, I want to talk about Nanami a little bit, because since we're talking about Sukuna breaking away from Nanami, I feel like it's only fair to talk about how Nanami could possibly break away from Sukuna as well. And it has to do mostly with the raid Nanami. So Nanami out here, he has the when played, you get to choose 1 character on your opponent's front line, and it gains this character cannot attack until the start of your next turn. So you're hindering your opponent. That character that's super valuable to them, they're 15 energy Saitama with damage 3 impact 3 and damage 7, it can attack.
That's actually very, very good, because we know what the 15 cost Saitama is capable of doing. It can't be sidelined by abilities.
Right.
It's kind of invincible. However, it can be affected by abilities. So let's say, for example, must I say it on the channel, Tatsumaki.
Yeah.
We already know I merely immobilize them. You can switch that character to the rest and buy yourself an extra turn. This works in the same way, where it's that, hey, I can just target your Saitama. You're not swinging it until the start of my next turn, meaning that that's damage 7 or that impact 3. Yeah, you ain't using that right now.
I don't have to worry about it for the turn.
Yeah.
And I don't have to worry about the effect where when he attacks, he gets to sideline one of my characters. Like, that's kind of unfair.
Yeah, that's kind of not nice.
Yeah. So I'm able to prevent that entirely by being a perfect critical 7/3 cut on the character.
Exactly. So now, not only that, but also in, like, say, decks like, say, Yamamoto, when it swings, it buffs everybody on the board by 2k. And you pair that with, like, say, the 2 type of Susuis, the one that gets damage 2 and the other one that has impact. No, double attack.
Yes.
Now you have 4Ks with swinging at you with damage 2 and double attack, versus like this one, it's like, nah, that Yamamoto is not attacking.
Nope.
You're not activating those abilities. You're not getting that value off of it. You can get out of your get ratio. Like,
Yeah,
come
go
on,
home. Go home, kid. You're done. And Nanami also has another ability where when he attacks, you get to place up to 1 card from the top of your deck into the sideline. And if you do, and you have 15 or less cards in your deck, pretty much if you're in overtime at that point, you get to draw up to 1 card, and then you get to reduce the BP of all characters with 1500 or more BP on your opponent's front line by 1000 until the end of turn. So you pretty much nerf everyone on their front line, allowing your entire front line to get over on your opponent. So their 5k characters that are tough to get through aren't that tough anymore, because now they're 4ks.
Yeah.
They're 3ks, they're 2ks, they're 1ks, they're weaker.
Yeah, you're dwindling down their board, so that way they're now put in a more pressurized situation where it's like, okay, I have to scramble, I have to think on the fly. That's more misplays they're going to make, and that's going to only work into your benefit.
Yes, and this card, it's a really good raid card. However, I don't see this replacing the current Nanami that we have, because the current Nanami gets so much more. He gets 1k BP, he gets damage 2, and he gets impact when he's in overtime. You want to run him as the main raid of the deck, and this one will be a secondary support raid. He's just there to help you get some damage through. He's just there to help you do some extra stuff. If you want to run him at a lower number, go ahead. Run him as a 2-of. It's not that big of a difference. But you're also getting other Nanamis in this deck to help out. The 2-1 Nanami that's able to, nullify impact if you're at overtime. And as well as there's this other card that's going to be featured in Volume 2 known as Yu Haibara, which is the card that is coming out with Nanami to help support him. And it's not going to be it's not the 1 energy Yu Haibara, it's the 0 energy Yu Haibara, which could possibly seeing replacement for the 0 Nanami, depending on how you build the 2-1 Nanami, which is your color trigger, but you gotta play around that with the 4-2 color trigger. I'm thinking of a 2-2 split personally. But with this Yu Haibara, on your main phase, you get to switch him to resting, kill him off, and if you do, you get to target any Nanami in your sideline and place it back to your hand. Meaning that you can run lower numbers of your Nanamis and still have a way to get your Nanamis onto the field at a reliable rate, as long as you have a Yu Haibara on your field.
Exactly, and this is going to be very beneficial, especially with the whole point of getting your Nanami into overtime, because you're constantly putting cards into your sideline. So you're going to have all the fuel in the world and all the options. Be like, all right, what Nanami I'm going to put back into my hand to further extend my plays.
Right.
You have the option available. You have a whole catalog of Nanamis that you can choose from.
Yeah.
And what I like about this is, again, when we were going over the yellow card, is that it's promoting you to actually play the characters as their own archetype versus mixing and matching them with other cards or other existing characters.
Right.
To say, hey, if you want to play a dedicated Nanami deck, you have a dedicated Nanami deck that's viable. You don't have to sit here and combine Sukuna with Nanami to make a top tier deck. You get all that and all that spice and everything nice with just the one character himself. Right. Which I really do like that. I really like how they're promoting that going forward.
Yeah. And then one last thing about this Yu Haibara before we move on to the next cards is that with Nanami, there's a lot of cards that say place the top card of your deck into the sideline. How many times have you done that and it's a Nanami that you needed?
Quite a fair bit.
With this Yu Haibara, you don't have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah, honestly, that kind of reminds me again with Green Saitama, the toss of I think it's the
Terrible Tornado?
Yeah, Terrible Tornado.
The 7-1. I think 7-1.
It's either the 7-1 or the 4-1. It's one of the two. But basically, when it's played, you get the target. I think it's either a hero or a Saitama card in your sideline and add it back to your hand.
Yep.
So even if you're milling a whole bunch of cards,
Actually, I think it's just a green character card.
A green character?
Which is even better.
Oh yeah, that's even better. Yeah, I think you're right. Because now you can not only have to just worry about getting your Saitamas, you can get your Kings for your King engine. You can get your Silver Fangs for additional engines to that nature.
Yep.
So you're able to just recycle the cards you send to the sideline because that's the whole function of the deck.
Yeah.
And you're just getting value off of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so moving forward, we're going to be talking about the event card in blue, which I feel like needs to be talked about.
What is this event card?
Be proud. You were strong.
Heck
8
yeah.
energy, 2 action.
That's a tall order to pay. It better be worth it.
If Sukuna is on your front line, reduce the card's not AP cost, energy required by 2 while it's in your hand.
Wow, 2. So it goes from an 8 energy card to a 6 energy card.
A 6 energy, 2 AP, yeah.
Okay, and what does it do?
You get to choose one character with 4K or more BP on your opponent's front line and kill it, and then draw 2 cards.
I ain't gonna lie. You might be able to cook with this.
Maybe.
Maybe. Being able to not only kill a card, kill a powerful card at that. So you're not limited to saying like, oh, this card magically just got 6k BP until the start of my next card, or it's at 8 or 7k BP just chilling there.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, fam, I'm killing that junk.
Yeah.
It's dead. Not only is it dead, I'm drawing these 2 cards afterwards to refill my hand for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can see you playing this card, draw those 2 extra cards, it's an AP restand card, you play it, you get your AP back so you can start doing other stuff with your plays.
Yeah.
While taking out a powerful card like say Yamamoto out of the game, because let's be real, we don't want Yamamoto swinging out anywhere, or Kenpachi of Zaraki, because it just flat out says kill it, it doesn't decrease the BP of it.
Right. And another big thing about this is, I kind of didn't want to talk about this too much, but future sets that we will be seeing in Union Arena. Specifically, Attack on Titan. Because in Volume 2 of Attack on Titan, which was just recently revealed in Japan, they have a card with 8k BP, flat, normal, just innately.
How the freak are, one, how you gonna get over that? 2, how the freak you gonna kill that?
Be proud, you were strong.
Hey.
Because be proud, at 8k BP, you were strong.
You were strong. Oh, bro.
Only downside, you can't kill Saitama with it.
You can't kill Saitama.
Even though he's 10k BP, he can't be killed by abilities, so unfortunately, it's no dice.
It's no dice.
But
nothing
hey,
nice.
2 extra cards, and it's not a special trigger card, so you can put this in along with your 4 kill cards. I think it's kind of a good card.
I can definitely see this being played as a 2-of.
Yeah, definitely no more than 2.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think running this as a 4-of is a smart move.
Yeah, it's not a smart move. A 2-of at most, or a 1-of you want to have that little bit of spice with everything nice.
All right, now we're done with blue, so we're gonna move over to purple. Some of the purple cards that are coming out. To start things off is the 8-2 Toji. That's right. Toji gets not only the card in the Hidden Inventory Premature Death set, but he also gets something in Volume 2 as well, which is 8 energy, 2 action, 4k BP, draw trigger. Love the draw trigger.
I love draw triggers.
So, we're starting out with if the combined total of your life and your opponent's life is 4 or less, reduce this card's required energy by 2 while it's in your hand, making him a 6-2 BP character.
6-2 BP character. So that from that alone, that leads me to believe it's going to be cards that kind of working similar how the Red Boros deck in One Punch Man works.
Yeah.
Where you're going to get the benefit of having lesser and lesser cards into your life overall between you and your opponent.
Okay. All right. And then next up, the staple of any 2 action point card, play this character set to active on your field.
Yep, you're already at the baseline by being able to set the active, which I mean, for 8 energy and 2 AP, you better be coming onto the field active.
Look,
I'm just saying.
If I have to build up that much energy and pay 2 AP, I need to see some type of value.
Exactly, like you gotta do something for me.
And with the 1k BP on my turn, that's something.
That's something.
5k BP? 5k BP?
I like 5k BP, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So let's see about this. When played, this character gains Impact 1 and
Snipe.
Impact 1 and Snipe until the end of turn.
Yeah.
I think this is a good card.
Oh, 100%.
I think this is a pretty good card. to be able to just play onto the field, set the active first of all. It gets 5k BP, and not only is it having snipe, but it's also having impact on top of it.
Yeah.
Hey man, I want more cards like Kurapika, because Kurapika, like you know, it's had enough of its time having fun. We need more cards like it. All right, Sinnoh, why'd you disappoint me? You were the chosen one. You were the one to make a difference.
To be fair, I do understand R's rage. Yes, Kurapika isn't like one of the top contending decks anymore, but there aren't many cards that have snipe that do what Kurapika can do.
And consistently.
Yes.
That's the issue. It's the fact that it's consistent. It doesn't matter if it's top tier. It doesn't matter if it's bottom tier. I don't care if there are 7 other decks that are better than that. The fact that you have a beginner deck when this first came out is still able to just Kurapika, 4K Barrage, Emperor's Time, Snipe, Ray Kurapika, Snipe, Impact, boom, 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 360, no scope.
Yeah.
Why? Why?
And to be better than a deck that came out, or than a card that came out months afterwards with Sinnoh. Yes, she has Snipe, but where's her impact?
Where is the impact, bro? I have to use a whole nother card to give her impact, and that's all based on another card being out on the field.
Yeah.
And it came out 5-6 months after Kurapika came out. Come on, guys. Like, I don't know. Next card. Next card.
So moving forward, I do want to talk about Toji's playability real quick. I think, first of all, yes, consistent. He's so consistent. You will see him so consistently in whatever deck you put him in.
Yeah.
What deck are you going to put him in is the question. He has no affinities, so he doesn't belong with cursed spirits. He doesn't respond with transfigured humans, so you can't really see him as a staple of something like that. And he's not even Kyoto Jujutsu High.
That's right.
So because of that, because of his affinity-less nature, you could put him anywhere, and he will thrive. He's just there to disrupt your opponent. He's not there to be there and be a focus. He's there to say, hey, I'm here. You had your fun. Let me have mine now. Snipe, impact. Now I'm taking over this game. So I think personally, when it comes to the playability of Toji, I think you can see him in any purple deck.
Any purple?
As long as you can generate a good amount of energy.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you can generate 8 energy consistently, like with Kyoto Jujutsu High thanks to the new Toto, you could definitely run this in that deck. Or with Mahito, he has a new card that generates 2 energy. You can see him probably more consistently there, especially when you're probably going to be taking a lot more hits in the Mahito deck because you're going to like sacrifice your life a little bit just to get some damage through and some bigger plays. So you can see yourself getting to the 6 energy 2 action version of Toji a lot more consistently as well. So this Toji doesn't really have a place to stay. He's just here.
He's just roaming around, a mercenary for hire.
Yeah, he's just trying to find and beat up his son.
Exactly. Hey, son, you want to play catch?
That's a truck.
It's a whole truck. Hey, son, let's play catch, man.
Dad?
Hey, son.
Dad, why do you have a truck?
Hey, we're playing catch.
I can't play catch.
You can.
I can't play Maharanga!
Oh, man, I love JJK. What's next on the list, man?
It is actually the next card you're about to go to.
Oh.
Ultimate Mechamaru.
Oh, snap. We got Power Rangers coming in.
We got a Raid Mechamaru coming in, and I wanted to talk about this card because I think it's so cool.
Okay.
I think it's so cool. R, go ahead and read that off for me, because this is so cool.
After these messages,
Bandai, please sponsor us. I'm gonna put that in the video.
please, we do a lot.
I just wanna get paid to play this card game.
Please, like right now the card game is playing us, but we want to. Oh God, bro. All right, so let's see. Ultimate Mechamaru mode, absolute.
Yep.
What does he do? If you have 5 or more Kyoto Jujutsu High Affinity cards or Kasumi Miya, okay, Little Miss Useless, on the field, this character gains Impact 1.
Yep.
I like that.
Yep.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
One, because like I said, the entire deck is Kyoto High.
Yeah.
All your characters are Kyoto High Affinity.
Yeah.
Not only that, if you are running the Miwas, which I assume you're running at least 4 of the 2/1 Miwas that draws a card, and then 2 of the 4/2 Miwas that also gets like double attack and be able to kill something, you're going to be able to hit that first requirement a pretty good amount of times.
Yeah.
And then secondly, the when play, choose one of the following. Choose up to one character with 35 or less BP on your opponent's front line and sideline. So not bad kill card. And choose up to one side on your opponent's field and sideline it.
So you get to choose one of those 2 abilities. And let's be honest, with not much sight removal in the game and how powerful sights are, that's an effect that you want to have.
Yeah, quite literally, you want that effect onto your field. And the thing is, you have options. If you're playing against a deck, let's say, for example, you're getting to play, what's a good example? Saitama. You're playing against Saitama, for example.
Okay.
Green Saitama doesn't really play sights for real.
Right.
So if you just need to kill something, hey, 3500 BP, there's like a rayless general.
Yeah.
And they're called slacking, you can kill it.
Yeah.
Right? Or if they're playing like say red. They're playing like red Tengi from Demon Slayer or red Zenitsu and Inosuke from Demon Slayer, your card lacking, play this, kill it.
Yeah.
Now, if they're playing something like say Dark Triad, Black Clover,
Yeah.
and they have their win condition on the field, which is the tree of
Clifford.
Yeah, tree of Clifford, and they're about to win, but you go ahead and you top that an Ultimate Mechamaru. I'm gonna play this Ultimate Mechamaru, I'm gonna kill your tree. Now they only got 3 cards left in their deck and they're about to win, they can't win anymore.
Nope.
Because more than likely, because they already had tree on the field, they went ahead and sidelined their other trees of Clifford into their, again, sideline. They don't have another one, now they're left in a bad situation.
Yep.
Or for example, Chimera Shadow Garden, you're about to pop up with Megami, heck no, I'm about to play Ultimate Mechamaru, I'm gonna kill that Chimera Shadow Garden, and I'm gonna force you to try to go with a different game plan.
Yeah.
Let's say more, Malevolent Shrine for Sukuna. You're trying to get your Sukuna snipe, impact, damage to the whole 9 yards, bet, Ultimate Mechamaru, kill it. Destroy that junk.
Now, one of the biggest things about the JJK set is that there are cards, like your Megami in blue, your Gojo in yellow, that say, when this card is played, return a sight on your opponent's front line, or on your opponent's field to the bottom of their deck. It's good, it's a decent ability, yet those cards are so useless if you're not going up against a deck with a sight. This Mechamaru isn't useless if your opponent's not running a sight, as R mentioned, because you have options. Dang, they're not running a sight deck? Cool, I have a way to kill cards on their field. They are running a sight deck? Cool, I have a way to get rid of their sights, which are going to pretty much be the focus of their decks. I mean, look at, what was it called? Strip of Beach.
Yep.
Ugh, dang, they have 15 cards in their hand. Let me get rid of their Strip of Beach. Now they have to discard down to hand size if they don't have another one in their hand.
Oh, actually, yes. So now all those different meaty players that they were planning, they were conjuring up, just gonna get rid of that. Like those 7 cards, those Jujunkins that you were holding on to get rid of it, just go ahead and toss those.
Yeah.
You don't need them.
Yeah.
You really don't. And like I said, with Ultimate Mechamaru being a raid, we already played, like say, the Mechamaru that generates 2 energy on the back line when active anyway. I believe there's other Mechamarus are also being added to the set as well,
Yes.
which you're going to be more justified to be able to play this Mechamaru as a 4 of.
Exactly.
So honestly, you can sit here and you can just be like, hey, Toto is going to be on the back line and Ultimate Mechamaru is going to be on your front line, or vice versa, depending on how you want to build the deck. Because like I said, it's a Kyoto Jujutsu High Affinity card. You have that flexibility to build different styles of decks with the Kyoto High Affinity characters.
Yeah. Not to mention that I truly believe that Ultimate Mechamaru is going to be probably the most interesting inclusion to Purple JJK. And the reason is because he is now a staple in 2 decks. 2 decks.
2 decks.
Yes. He's the staple in Kyoto Jujutsu High, and he's the staple in his own deck.
Oh.
You can run a standalone Ultimate Mechamaru deck because we're also getting not only new Mechamarus in this set, but we're also getting another Miwa that generates 2 energy herself, and when you play her, you can draw a card and then place one from your hand to the sideline.
Honestly, that is actually pretty good, because if you know, again, from the other Miwa, which is the 2/1 win, play, draw card,
Yep.
now we have another Miwa that when played, I can draw a card and discard a card, but I'm also able to generate 2 energy.
Yep.
And now I'm starting to see where you're getting that, because you can just run the 4 Ultimate Mechamarus, your a whole variety of Miwas,
Yep.
and then you're wearing the 4-2 Miwas on top of that, you don't even need to run Total.
No.
You don't need to run the Boogie Boogie. You don't run to. You can just run pure Mechamaru and Miwa, which, again, flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's what I was trying to get to. Dude, I can't wait, bro. I want this deck so bad. I think it's so amazing.
Bro.
But I'm not finished yet with this deck because he also gets his own kill card coming into Volume 2. Ultra Cannon, where you choose a character with 3k or less BP, but if you control Ultimate Mechamaru or Ultra Mechamaru Mode Absolute, because you gotta specify it, it now becomes 5k or less BP instead. And not to mention, every single Mechamaru ability that is in the new set or on any Mechamaru says if you have 5 or more other Kyoto Jujutsu High affinity cards or Miwa. And because Miwa is such a big staple, you can just run Mechamaru Miwa and not even have to worry about the rest of Kyoto Jujutsu High. You can put some Kyoto Jujutsu High support because they both have Kyoto Jujutsu High affinity.
Yeah.
But there's nothing stopping you from just running Mechamaru and Miwa.
Exactly. And like I say, to add more support to the mix, you can just run the Urahime that digs 3 cards deep for any Jujutsu High affinity card and add it directly to your hand. And I don't think there's a sideline effect from it, I don't believe.
I don't think so.
So you just play a, 1, it's a 1 energy cost card to help bridge that gap, and 2, you're just grabbing a card for free into your hand.
Yeah.
On top of that. And
you do have like a color trigger for Mechamaru too, so he is able to stand on his own as well.
Okay, so yeah, you are having a standalone Mechamaru and Miwa deck.
Yeah.
Just flat out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just all in. That's a lot of benefit. Honestly, I'm kind of hyped too about it.
Right?
You know, about to have some fun with this. Plus, we already got the decks built, so
yeah, we just need to make some small adjustments or big adjustments for the case of building an entire new deck.
Exactly. Hey, but it's all easy peasy lemon squeezy, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I do want to talk about one last card in purple. And believe it or not, it is not really the raid Mahito. I mean, yes, we're going to talk about the raid Mahito, but if we go back a little bit further, past the, before we got to, after the Mecha... I'm cutting that part out because I'm fumbling over my words.
Please go.
We are going to be talking about the raid Mahito, but first I want to talk about Dagon, the raid Dagon. We're getting a Dagon that raids. If you remember Dagon in Volume 1, he's a card that when you sideline him, you get to draw a card. He does get one more card in this set. He gets a 0-cost card, which will be your raid fodder. But this Dagon, it's not an SR raid, it's an R raid. When he's raided, if you attack, you can place one card from your hand into the sideline. If you do, play up to 1 purple character card with 2 or less required energy from your sideline, set the resting onto your field, but when playing, abilities on those characters do not activate. Now I know what you may be thinking, dang, what's the point then of playing a when played character or what's the point of playing a card from sideline onto the field if the when played ability doesn't activate?
Yeah.
That's because in purple, in this version of purple, you're not running when played abilities. They're all when sidelined.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
So Dagon's going to be bringing characters that you're sidelining to get effects back to the field. He's going to be bringing characters that you kill off with Mahito back to the field. Meaning, hey, yeah, I killed off this transfigured human to benefit an ability, but hey, I'm also going to have this rated Dagon swing at you and then bring that same character back to the field. Yeah, he's going to be rested, but who cares? He's on the field, he's helping me generate energy after I got rid of my energy line.
Exactly. Oh, yeah, because it doesn't specify it has to be on the front line now, does it?
Nope.
Oh, snap. So again, like you said, we move characters up to the front line, start applying pressure, but then now you have this guy on the field, start attacking, bring that card back, put it on your back line, you got energy again.
Like, I don't know, that 2-1 Mahito that can generate 2 energy.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Oh, we're cooking with humans now.
And while we're on the topic of Mahito, let's go ahead and talk about Raid Mahito. To finish off purple, we got 5-1 Raid Mahito at 4k BP. When played, you may sideline 2 characters on your field other than Mahito, and you cannot sideline characters with the same card name with this ability, so they have to have 2 separate names. And if you sideline 2 characters with this ability, because it's up to, you don't have to sideline 2, but if you do get 2, draw 2 cards, choose up to 1 character on your opponent's front line to lose 4k BP.
So basically, just draw 2 kill cards.
Yep, draw 2 kill a card, or draw 2 nerfer cards so bad that you can kill it with his kill card that targets 3k or less PP characters.
Oh snap! So that's just all the benefits from it.
Yes.
It's just straight value, unless it's Kenpachi.
Yeah, unless it's Kenpachi. That's the only one that's not getting really affected by this.
He's just a menace.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But honestly, that's still a pretty good card in of itself. and for only 5 energy, like I said, to be able to just flat out just draw 2 cards, replenish your hand, and then kill a card. And then, like I said, sideline a card, which again is going to trigger when sideline abilities.
Yep.
So you're 3 for 1 of your opponent.
Yeah.
I think you're 4 for 1 because you're getting a character, you're killing a card activating its effect,
Yeah.
you're killing one of your opponent's cards, decreasing your BP,
Yeah.
and you're drawing 2 cards.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a 4 for 1.
It's literally a 4 for 1. That's a great card.
Yeah.
Holy free.
Yeah. Mahito, you're gonna see a lot more Mahito. Like, I know Mahito was good. Mahito's gonna get better.
He's gonna be a lot better now.
And that wraps up all the older cards. Now we have red. And red is a whole new open field. So we're just going to quickly go through red because we don't have much to go off of. Past-wise, we only have present and future to look forward to.
Exactly.
So to start things off, let's start with Geto, since he's the first one that you'll come across if you look at the card list. We have Geto, 5 energy, 1 action.
5 energy, 1 action. And I already read your mind. Once per turn, place up to 2 red Cursed Spirit Affinity cards without raid and with different card names from your sideline into your removal area. This card gains all activate main abilities of the cards placed into the removal area by this ability until the end of turn.
Yeah, so this Geto, and I'm so excited. I want to build this deck because it's so interesting to me.
Oh snap, what we got?
So the whole focus of the red cards in Geto, if you look over here, I actually don't know where I'm going to put them,
Hey,
but
they're
somewhere.
What's that?
What's that? Why are my nudes? Who leaked my nudes on Twitter.com? But yeah, if you look at some of the red cards in the set, it's all focused on sending cards to your sideline, believe it or not. Crazy that the Cursed Spirits want to send stuff to the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at the Cursed Spirit abilities, you have your Jogo, you have your Hanami, you have your Mahito, and you have your Dagon, all with activate main abilities. All of their activate main abilities have a condition though.
What's that condition?
You have to be generating, at that point in time of activating the ability, 5 energy. How much does this Geto cost to play?
5 energy.
Exactly. So if you play this Geto onto the field, that exact same turn you can activate his main ability to activate the other main abilities.
So you're already meeting the requirements while you're getting this Geto out on the field.
Yeah.
And then now you're able to trigger other abilities, and now you're able to search a whole bunch of shenanigans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so fun. I can't wait.
I do like to point out they did place quite some limitations on this card. Like say we're not able to do raid cards or having to do cards with 2 different names. Again, I can understand why. I know why. Because we want to avoid card decks like Esper Sisters, Tatsumaki and Fubuki making terror.
Want to know something funny?
What's that?
This deck has no raids. I mean, you can put Choso in it. Choso has a raid. But
There's no raids in this deck?
you don't have to put any raids in this deck. Choso is a raid card with an activate main ability, but you probably want to run Choso separate from Geto because Choso's conditions work differently than Geto's condition. Even though there are Geto cards that support Choso and his deck playstyle, you're not going to want to run Choso with this Geto. Now, Geto does also have a special kill card. If you have a combined total of 2 or more Cursed Spirit or Cursed Wombs, which is the Choso side of things, affinity cards in your front line, or if Suguru Geto is on your front line, there he is, reduce this card's AP cost by 1 while it's in your hand, making it a 5-1 instead of a 5-2. You get to choose 1 character on your opponent's front line with 5k or less BP, place it into the removal area.
Huh.
So target a Gojo, target a Yamamoto, target a Kurapika, target anything that's 5k or less, and banish it from the game.
It ain't coming back.
However, if you target one of those cards I specifically listed, like Yamamoto, Kurapika, or Gojo, at 5k exact BP, removing it from the game, you now get to draw up to 1 card as well.
So now I get to draw a card on top of that.
Yes.
So now you're punished for playing cards like playing Kurapika or playing Yamamoto.
For playing a 5k BP character exact, your punishment is that I also get to draw a card.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. So now, yeah.
Yeah, so you're going to see Geto's deck style is similar to drawing a lot of cards, getting a lot of cards in your sideline. We didn't talk about those cards, but we have those cards listed somewhere around here. And it's all going to be about playing the active main abilities of your other cards to do some insane stuff.
Exactly. You're chaining things together. It's a chain reaction.
In fact, let's go ahead and talk about. Want to do two of them? Two of the activate mains?
Yeah, let's go through one of them real quick.
Alright, which ones do you want to do? We got Mahito, Hanami, Dagon, and Jogo. They were all on the screen.
Oh, yeah.
We got Jogo, Dagon, Hanami, Mahito. We can talk about all four. We can talk about two of them. Which one you want to do?
Let's do Jogo. He has a paragraph of text.
Yeah, he does. So Jogo, 4 energy, 1 action. Activate main. If he's on the front line, once per turn, you can only activate this ability if you have 5 or more energy generation, which, like I said, is the condition for all the main abilities for these cursed spirits. So, choose one of these following abilities. This character gets damage 2 until end of turn.
Bruh.
Or, this character gets when he attacks, you may place 2 cards from your hand into the sideline. If you do, choose up to one character with 2k or less BP on your opponent's front line and kill it until end of turn. So, yes, your Ghetto could get damage 2, which is absolutely insane. I love damage 2. Damage 2 does a lot for you.
Exactly.
Or, if your opponent has a pesky 2k BP character, like a lot of double attack characters.
Yep. A lot of double attack characters are at 2k BP now that I'm thinking about it.
Kill them off.
Just kill them. Kill them. That pesky 2k BP you're so proud of.
Yep.
And those double attacks, get rid of it. That Shoe Sweep, you ain't using it.
Gone.
That Sodomy from Demon Slayer, you ain't using it.
Gone.
That Miwa, Little Miss Useless, she's useless today.
Yeah, she is.
Mm-hmm. Get rid of it.
Let's check out the next one. Just to run down the gauntlet real quick. We got Dagon over here. 0 energy, 1 action on main phase. If he's on the front line, of course you're gonna be playing Ghetto on the front line.
Exactly.
I don't know why I'm getting so excited.
Hey, just hype. That's not
I really am. I can't wait to build this deck, bro. Once per turn, you can only activate this ability if you have 5 more energy generation. Blah blah blah. You may place 1 card from your hand into the sideline, and if you do, switch this character to active. Basically, you play the Ghetto. You remove, let's say, your Dagon and your Jogo.
Yeah.
You remove Dagon, place a card from your hand to sideline, stand him up, then play Jogo, damage 2, and hey, if this was early game, that's a free 2 damage coming through.
That's 2 damage coming right to your face, dog. I'm just being real with you.
So
that's kind of scary.
Yeah.
That's kind of scary.
Yeah. And that's just 2 of the cards. We'll be going further in depth when we go through the deck list on just how powerful this deck is going to be. So next deck that's going to have a huge focus in red is Yuji. And Yuji is... I'm really glad they limited this raid to a once per turn when attacking ability. Because if they did not, this deck would have been something insane. But let's talk about him. 4 energy, 1 action, Yuji Itadori, 4k minus BP.
4k minus BP. Interesting.
Why are you minusing BP?
Please tell me.
Well, when attacking, once per turn, if you have 3 or more other Jujutsu Sorcerer Affinity cards on your field, choose one of these abilities. 1, he gets impact until end of turn.
Okay.
Or 2, you may reduce his BP by 2,000 until end of turn, and then switch him to active. Therefore, giving him a makeshift double attack.
I understand why it's so hard once per turn.
Yeah, because there are cards like Nobara and Fushiguro that buff him up, just by 500, or if you are doing something right, 1,500 BP instead, which gives him minus 2k, put him at, 2k normally, but after the increase of 1,500, he's at 5,500.
Yep.
Minus 2k, that's 35. Minus 2k, he's now at 1,500, but that's 3 attacks that are going through. Not to mention, and let's just go ahead and talk about it, the kill card.
Yep.
Black Flash.
Black Flash. 4
energy, 2 action, and if you have a Yuji on the field, it's reduced by 1 AP. You get to target a 5k or less BP character on the field and kill it off, which is pretty good. It's a pretty good effect for a kill card. You want to hit the 5k or less. However, if there are 2 or more characters with 4k or more BP on your opponent's front line, choose one Jujutsu Sorcerer like Yuji with 4k or more BP on your field to get 2k BP until end of turn. So now, not only is he getting the 2k on top of the 4k, putting him at 6k, not only is he getting the 1,500 from Nobara and the 1,500 from Gojo, which puts him at what, 6k, then 9k. He's a 9k BP character. If this was not once per turn, I'm swinging him with 9k, 7k, 5k, 3k, 1k. That's 5 attacks off of 1 card. Thank God for once per turn.
Thank goodness for once per turn. If it was not a once per turn, 5 attacks just on 1 character alone, not including the other 3 characters that can end up swinging, that's 8 attacks in 1 turn.
Yeah.
You're only blocking 4. So that's 4 extra damage coming into your face.
And I'll tell you what, that would be a Black Flash, I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, bro, that Black Flash will be the last thing you do. He's setting records.
Actually, no. Technically speaking, you wouldn't be blocking 4 of them. You'd only be blocking 3 because Black Flash would kill 1 of them.
Honestly, yeah. You're taking 5 damage.
5 damage, leaving you with 2 life.
Hey, he broke the record. Not only had the record at 3, he now made it 5.
Literally. So yeah, Yuji's deck is going to be really focused on the Jujutsu Sorcerer side of things and buffing him up so that you can still have good effects off of impact and good effects off of restoring himself after he swings for damage. You're able to get some extra attacks through and still have a good amount of BP for your opponent to still feel threatened.
Exactly. And like again, options. You have options. If you're trying to swing wide, just start decreasing BP. You're just trying to swing tall, give it impact. Depending on the situation, you can choose what you need to do, which is the flexibility with the deck, and I absolutely love it.
I love it because it fits Yuji to a T almost. He not only adapted really well to the Jujutsu world, but he also adapted well to fighting in general. He was able to be very flexible in the way he fights. I mean, look at how he fights.
Exactly.
He's fighting almost as if he's been a Jujutsu sorcerer for like years at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's slacking on a few curse techniques and stuff, but with his prowess, with his just regular hand-to-hand combat, he's showing some serious skill.
He might as well just be the Mike guy of Jujutsu Kaisen, or the Rock Lee at this point.
At this point, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And let's move on to the other card that's also going to be helping out the Jujutsu sorcerers, which is Mini Mechamaru. So, Mini Mechamaru, a deck can only contain up to 3 copies of this card.
Why?
Yeah. Let me tell you a brief history of the only 2 cards that said that you can only have up to 3 cards. Angel's Breath, Strip of Beach. Why were they only 3 copies? Because those cards were busted. Strip of Beach generates 2 energy, increases your maximum hand size from 8 to 15. Angel's Breath, Monster Reborn.
Basically, bring a card back from the sideline. Monster Reborn, revive it.
So, why is this card only 3 copies?
Why is it?
Well, you see, if you have a Satoru Gojo card in your removal area, reduce this card's required energy by 3 while it's in your hand, turning it from a 5/1 to a 2/1.
Bruh.
Now, I know what you may be thinking. Why would you have a Gojo in your removal area? Well, there are many ways to do that. You could just, let him get hit by Hollow Purple, for one.
Yeah.
You could have a full front line and then play a card over your Gojo and send him to the removal area.
That is also true.
Or you can just play the SR Gojo that comes in this set.
Huh.
SR Gojo, he has impact, which, let's be honest, having impact is really good. But there's a problem. There's a slight problem. Can you use the impact? Because at the end of your opponent's attack phase, if there are 2 or more characters with 4k or more BP, or if a single Ghetto is on your opponent's front line, place this character into your removal area, then look at the top 4 cards of your deck, and then pick up to 2 Jujutsu Sorcerer Affinity cards other than Gojo among them, add them to your hand, and place the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. Your Gojo is piecing out if he sees Ghetto or 2 characters with 4k or more BP. At 5k BP with impact, it's a strong ability, but he doesn't come in active, so you're not guaranteed that impact.
Exactly. You have to wait a whole turn if he stays out long enough to get value from it.
So yeah, getting this Gojo out is going to be kind of easy getting this Gojo in the removal area is going to be kind of easy considering his own ability, not to mention there is another Gojo that has a very similar ability where he also gets sent to a removal area. But what does Mini Mechamaru do for that 2 energy 1 action?
That's a good question. What does he do? Let's go back to it.
Well, you see, you get to draw a card, and then play up to 2 red cards with 3 or less required energy, 1 AP cost, and Jujutsu Sorcerer Affinity from your hand set to resting onto your field.
So I get to draw a card, just play 2 cards out for free.
Yeah.
For only what? 3 energy, 1 AP?
2 energy, 1 AP.
2 energy, 1 AP. I get 2 characters, and I get to draw a card.
Now here's the thing. It doesn't say play up to 2 red cards with 3 or less fulfilled required energy. Meaning, if you're stuck at 2 energy, play Mini Mechamaru and just play your 2/3 energy cards. You don't even need to be generating 3 energy to play them onto the field.
Oh, snap. Actually, you're right. You're right. Oh.
So, Mini Mechamaru might just be the best support card for red. I mean, you're able to play these cards super easily And then considering the fact that it's going to be helping out the Yuji side of things because Gojo is going to be a part of Yuji, along with Nobara, but we're not going to talk about Nobara today. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. So Red is looking like it's going to be shaking it up quite a bit, especially with those black flashes coming left and right.
Oh yeah, 100%. So I know I said we're not going to talk about her, but let's go ahead and talk about her because she is a raid card. 4 energy, 1 action, Nobara Kugasaki. Best girl in the city, as R always says. So R, why don't you go ahead and read off that ability for me?
Right,
I know the color might kind of throw off your reading, but
I'm struggling hard, but we're gonna make it happen. So, when played, you get to draw a card and place 1 card from your hand into the sideline, which is already good.
Yep.
If you place the Jujutsu Sorcerer Affinity card into your sideline with this ability, you can choose 1 character on your opponent's front line with the same required energy amount or base BP as that card. It loses 3k BP to the end of turn.
Yep.
That's kind of interesting.
So, for example, with your Yuji constantly lowering his BP by 2k, Nobara kind of ensures that a character on the field is going to have a low enough BP that Yuji may be able to attack over at some point.
So that's actually not bad. Like you said, you're picking, choosing what card you're going to the graveyard, and then sideline I should say, and then activate main ability. Place 1 card from your hand to the sideline. Choose 1 Jujutsu Sorcerer Affinity card on your field. It gains 500 BP to the end of turn.
Now, the 500 BP is not much.
It's not much,
but it does add up when it matters the most.
Exactly.
Especially if you play the other Nobara that, when played, gives someone 500 BP or 1500 BP if you're playing things right, and then put another 500 on top of that. That character now essentially just got 2k extra BP.
Exactly, and now you're swinging with like a 6k or 7k beater out onto the field.
Yeah. So she's a good support card. She's not going to be any like main damage deal or anything. I just wanted to talk about her because she is typically your main raid support for the deck of red.
Exactly.
I did hint at it, and by hint at it, I mean I literally said it flat out. Choso is a character that can go in the Ghetto deck, but he does have his own deck. When played, 4/1, 4k BP, raid trigger on a rare raid. A raid trigger.
Oh snap!
Which is kind of like a sign that this character is going to be a good raid standalone. I think Ultra Mechamaru Absolute also had raid trigger.
Exactly.
When played, draw a card, then play up to 1 Esso or Kechizu card from your hand, set the resting onto your field. Which is good. You know, you're building up his 2 brothers that are there as well.
Exactly.
And then activate on the main phase if he's on the front line once returned. If Esso and Kechizu are on the same line, all Esso and Kechizu cards on your field get 500 BP till the end of turn.
Okay, so it's going to be one of those decks where the birds of a feather flock together, where as long as you have everything stashed up onto the field correctly, they're all just getting buffed up and they're swinging face.
It's the brothers.
It's the brothers.
As long as you have the brothers on the field, they are able to fight together.
Exactly.
And to further the fact that he is his own deck, let's go ahead and talk about his card that's not a kill card, but it is still a very powerful card. You can obviously put the Prison Realm kill card into his deck with him, but if you want to really bring Choso to the full limelight, you're going to want to give him his non-existent memories. Similar to how Toto has his, Choso has his. Choose up to 1 of each of the following characters on your field, on your front line. Up to 1 of each. You don't have to choose all of them, but you can choose all of them. Choso, Esso, Kechizu, and Yuji Itadori.
Yuji Itadori.
They each gain 1k BP till the end of turn.
End of turn?
And,
oh snap.
That's right, if you choose a combined total of 2 or more characters, including Choso, the Choso gets impact 1.
Oh snap. So not only are you buffing your...
And if you chose a combined total of 3 or more, including Choso, you also get to draw a card.
So I get impact, draw a card, and I get the buff of my characters.
Yep.
I basically 3 for 1.
Yeah.
I'm 3 for 1 for only 3 energy and 1 AP.
Yep.
That's actually insane.
And you have to have at least 3 of them on the field. You don't need the Yuji, but trust me, there's literally no downside to running Yuji in this deck. I mean, Raid Yuji might have a little bit of trouble.
Yeah.
But there's no downside to running the non-Raid Yujis in the deck.
Honestly, there really isn't, because like you said, you can run the non-Raid Yujis, you can run the Yuji, you can run the Black Flashes.
Yeah.
To run the Black Flashes to, like, say, not only to say kill card, but also buff up your other cards as well.
Yeah.
So again, birds of a feather flock together. You're buffing up this card. You're just swinging face. This is just a flat out beat down deck.
Yeah, you're just going in using your blood art, killing things.
Killing things.
I'm telling you, Choso's going to be a fun deck. It's probably not going to be one of your best decks out there, but it's going to be a fun deck. Having Choso try to reunite with his brothers and really show off that brotherly love as they, curb stomp your face in.
Exactly. It's kind of similar to how like Code Geass had like say the Cornelia deck and the Black Knights deck. Like it's not a top tier deck, but it's still a valuable deck. It's piloted by the right person.
Yeah, as long as you use the deck right, you'll see some value.
You see some value indeed.
And that's pretty much it, actually. Those are all the key cards. We didn't want to talk your ear off, but we feel like doing it this style is a lot better because we get all the important cards out of the way, and then you guys can investigate all the less valuable cards later on. We do have still a few cards that we didn't mention that are still important for some of the buildup of decks. Like we didn't talk about Hanami or Mahito and how they benefit things, and we didn't even talk about the site that goes along with Geto. But we're going to leave that for the video where we talk about the decks themselves as we construct them and show you guys how we built them and brought out their true potential.
Exactly. So, until the next video, I've been R.
You don't start these.
I'm sorry.
I've been D.
I've been R.
And we've been DJR
Union.
It's time to move. It's time to move.